Super Smash Bros is a series about getting gaming's greatest guys and gals all in one place for some good old fashioned fisticuffs. Of course, not every character can make it as a full-fledged fighter, and that's why I was so excited when assist trophies were introduced in Super Smash Bros Brawl. Assist trophies were and are an avenue of getting many of our favourite characters on the battlefield, even if we can't play as them ourselves. They can help out the user in a plethora of different ways, and because there is so much variety, it means there are inevitably some that are better than others and some that are worse. So of course, that means I've got to rank them. There are 75 assist trophies across Super Smash Bros Brawl, 3DS, Wii U and Ultimate. Each assist trophy is being judged based on three main criteria: how strong they are, how much they help out the person who summoned the assist trophy, and how much fun they bring to the match. So you can expect to see weaker and annoying assist trophies at the bottom of the list, while stronger ones and ones that add a meaningful element of fun will be near the top. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I think is the absolute worst assist trophy in Super Smash Bros. The worst assist trophy is Nightmare. Nightmare just makes the screen go blank. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a very boring effect that just removes 100% of the skill factor from Smash Bros. No one's going to have fun walking straight off the edge because they are completely blind. These next two assist trophies are similar to Nightmare in that they obscure the action in some way. Mr. Rossetti just causes a text box to appear in the upper half of the screen. I found his dialogue to be pretty funny the first time, but the major problem with this assist trophy is that it lasts ages. Minutes in fact. That could be a whole match. And in Brawl, only one assist trophy can be out at once, so he disables all others by his mere presence. Then we have Nintendog, the least egregious of these three. It shows up, blocks some of the screen for a short time and then disappears. I'm never happy to get Nintendog, but at least it's not as bad as the previous two. And it's a few seconds of cuteness at least. Unless you're playing Smash 4. Skull Kid's a little different to the previous three assist trophies, as Skull Kid can cause three different effects, but they're all annoying for similar reasons: flipping the camera, controls, or turning players invisible. It can lead to some funny mishaps, I guess. Starfy, I love you buddy, but you are just so useless that it hurts. His speed is pathetic, his damage output is pitiful. This assist trophy was made to disappoint players when he shows up, and Starfy pulls that off with flying colours. Hellerin sounds like a good assist trophy. It's a new rotating platform that could lead to some funny antics, but it tends to stick to the middle of the stage and it isn't that big. Honestly, it just ends up coming and going as if it never existed at all. Here's our first assist trophy that can deal some decent damage. Emphasis on the word can. Hammer Bro doesn't move horizontally, so the hammers can easily be avoided by simply walking away. Hammer Bro is more effective on smaller stages, but even if you do manage to get hit, the hammers don't deal a huge amount of damage and the knockback isn't that great either. Before she became a full-fledged fighter in Ultimate, Isabelle took the role as a humble assist trophy in Smash 4. Not a great one though. She provides a small amount of healing over time with her fruit, which is nice, but isn't likely to change the flow of battle. Like in her home game, Isabelle is just trying her best. Unlike Hammer Bro, Saki Amamiya will actually chase down his opponents. However, there is this issue shared with a few assist trophies including Saki. There are some times when he can be very hesitant to attack. If an enemy isn't within just the right amount of range and right position, he'll jump away and try approaching again. Ooh, is now the right time? No, now? Ooh, just a bit too far. No, a little too close that time. By the time he decides to attack, his time could be up. On top of that, his damage and knockback aren't good, but he can sometimes be good at sniping enemies with his projectile. The biggest problem with Barbara is her range, but if she manages to hit you, she isn't too bad, as you'll likely end up trapped in her sound waves and take a decent amount of damage. Metroid floats about the place for a little bit before latching onto anything in its path and chowing down for a tasty meal. Metroids can do okay damage, but man, these things just annoy me. If it attaches to you, you just have to flail about on your controller until it falls off, which is just a hassle. Depending on where the Excite Bikes spawn, they can cause some funny gimps. But because there are only around 8 of them and they don't hang around for too long, this doesn't happen all that often and their damage output is pathetic. Chef Kawasaki is essentially a replacement for the Cook Kirby Final Smash from Brawl, only with much worse knockback. He can't kill until around 100, but if you get caught by him at high percentage, there's nothing you can do, you're a goner. Guile is a pretty disappointing assist trophy. His flash kick has amazing kill potential, but the problem is that he doesn't budge an inch. He's like a proximity mine that only sticks around for a few seconds. His sonic boom attack is so slow that it can easily be avoided. If the stars align, Mother Brain has the potential to do some nice damage, but after she's chosen a direction to shoot in, there's enough of a delay where it's fairly easy to scoot over to the other side and avoid the whole attack. Dylan is okay. He shows up and does some sonic spin dashes across the screen for a bit, homing into enemies as he goes, although he does still miss a fair amount and the damage isn't great. His final attack isn't bad though and has a chance to kill. Dr. Wright is great in very specific situations. For example, if an opponent is trapped between platforms or something, they may have trouble avoiding Dr. Wright's attack. In a vast majority of cases though, his powerful skyscraper is easy to avoid. Thwomp dishes out some excellent damage and knockback, but again, its attack is super predictable and easy to dodge. Jill is really weak, but the final hit of her drill attack can do some decent knockback even at low percent. It's quite inconsistent though and easy to fall out of. Sometimes she can't even be bothered to fight and would just show up and immediately exit stage left. The projectiles from infantry and tanks travel an okay distance and are quite strong, so they can take some stocks. However, the amount of units that show up seems to be inconsistent and they can often travel in non-optimal directions and can be easy to avoid. There's not much to Samurai Goro. He just runs back and forth flailing his sword. This means all players need to be constantly on their toes. He's great at racking up damage more than anything, especially during free-for-alls, but he can also kill at higher percents. From this point on, all of these assist trophies that just show up and attack have quite good damage capabilities. Crystal can deal this and great knockback at mid percents that could kill fairly early off the sides. Her problems are that she has quite bad aim and a lot of downtime where she doesn't attack. I wish Alucard was higher, as like all of us, I love Symphony of the Night. His Crissaegrim is nowhere near as deadly as it was in that game, and a lot of the time he just decides not to use it. Alucard's best attack is Soul of the Bat's Wing Smash, which is fast and can kill super early. Again though, it's a case of whether he decides to use it or not, as sometimes he just dances around the stage, as vampires are wont to do. Girahim is almost identical to Alucard in terms of his strengths and weaknesses. The only reason Girahim is one spot higher is that I find his killing sword attack to be slightly more consistent than Alucard's Wing Smash in terms of how often he uses it. Another one from Zelda here. Tingle is actually quite similar to Skull Kid, causing a random effect on appearance. I find Tingle's effects to be a lot more fun than Skull Kid's, especially the one where it zooms into the summoner. Sure, it's a huge pain for the others, but it's a lot of fun for the user. The tripping one, not so much. And similar to that is Ricky. What makes Ricky better is that he uses 3 arts, one after the other. These include putting opponents to sleep, freezing them, or temporarily buffing every fighter, which can lead to some happy chaos. Devil pushes parts of the stage closer to the blast zone, which could lead to stuff like early kills by knocking or throwing opponents straight off the screen. It's funny when it happens, but there will also be times where Devil doesn't end up impacting a match in any significant way. I find Yuri to be a really fun assist trophy, forcing players to be aware of and avoid a snapshot from the camera obscura, which deals a lot of damage and inflicts poison. The trouble is that players are only really going to get caught on it if they're being heavily pressured, as it's really easy to shield. Flies in Hand is a different story. The hand of Flies in Hand will attempt to swat away the flies as well as other fighters. The knockback likely won't kill from center stage, but the hand sometimes likes to go close to the blast zone, which can lead to some pretty early stocks if you're not careful. Appearing as an assist trophy in Brawl, some of Little Mac's punches are incredibly strong and can kill crazy early. However, like in Ultimate, if he ends up off stage, he's probably a goner. In Smash Bros Brawl, assist trophies don't teleport back from off screen, and I swear Little Mac decides to SD way more than any other assist trophy in that game, for some bizarre reason. Akira, the Virtua Fighter, is very similar to Little Mac in that he has some devastating close quarters attacks. However, he suffers the same issue as some other assist trophies where he likes to hesitate a lot and sometimes he just won't use his strongest moves. He's great when he does though. Chain Chomp is another one of those assist trophies whose main flaw is that they're rooted to the ground they spawn on. But Chain Chomp is pretty good because it has a decent range and does both good damage and good knockback. If you're lucky enough to spawn it in the middle of the stage, it forces your opponents to either dance around it or stick to the sides of the stage, which gives the summoner a big advantage. The final assist trophy turned full-fledged fighter is Dark Samus, who also happens to be the best assist trophy from the Metroid series. Dark Samus has both close and long range attacks that deal good damage. The arm cannon volley attack is particularly good at killing opponents off the side blast zone on walk-off stages at pretty much any percent. Phosphora is constantly flinging electrical projectiles across the stage, some of which can rack up damage quickly, and her sphere attack can lead to kills across the whole stage. Takamaru's windmill swords aren't a good projectile, but he makes up for it with his katana flurry attack, which can both trap opponents in it for some hefty damage and even kill off the side at mid percent. Although it's not terrifically consistent, it's not uncommon for opponents to fall out of it. Magnus's poor speed and accuracy unfortunately make him a worse assist trophy than he otherwise could be, because his greatsword dishes out some insane knockback that can kill at around 50% or less. When he appears, avoid him at all costs or attack him to make him flinch. I could never work out why Magnus didn't make it into Ultimate. And the same goes for Elekman. After showing up, he fires quick, powerful jolts of electricity in the cardinal directions that can easily catch players off guard and kill them at around 80%. His biggest weakness is that he doesn't seem to stick around for too long. If Chain Chomp was able to move around the stage, it would basically be what the burrowing Snagrat is. It's another one that's great during free-for-alls, as it can take advantage of the chaos to easily take a stock or two from its unsuspecting victims. In most cases, the presence of Lakitu and Spinies likely won't be felt because the Spinies do very little damage on stage. But what I really like about this assist trophy is that the Spinies spike when they're on their way down, and that could lead to some ensuing hilarity. Shovel Knight's raw kill power isn't quite as good as other assist trophies, but he hangs around for a while and can use that time to build up a lot of damage. He can even combo with his shovel drop ability. One thing I don't like about Shovel Knight is that after burying an opponent, he'll often follow up with an attack and knocking them back out, rather than letting me clean up with a kill. Jeff is a short and simple assist trophy, shooting slow, powerful homing missiles at opponents. They won't hit all the time, but if they do, they can deal some serious damage and easily knock opponents off the top of the screen. Midna's playful nature comes through in her Smash Bros assist trophy. She teleports around and stands there chilling until someone comes close enough to be scooped up and flung away, killing pretty early. On top of being difficult to avoid, what I really like about Kat and Anna is that they make it massively dangerous to be anywhere near the blast zone, as they can come out of nowhere and tip you into it at any time. The second assist trophy from WarioWare is Ashley. Her cloud attack can provide a few different effects, but my favourite is the guaranteed slowdown. Slowdown can be incredibly fun in Smash Bros because it leads to increased hit stun, which means you can whip up some lengthy and creative combos. Though what you can do is certainly limited with Ashley, as the slowdown only lasts within the cloud. While Ray Mark III is around, it constantly sends out both lasers and missiles. The lasers are good at juggling fighters or catching them off stage, while the missiles work similarly to Jeff's and have great kill power. The moon from Majora's Mask is great. As soon as it appears, it becomes a mad dash for opponents to escape its collision course, and for the user to knock or throw opponents into it before it crash lands. When it does, it can deal a hefty bit of damage, up to around 50%, and can easily take stocks too. Dr. Kawashima is like the moon, where you're trying to avoid large objects flying in, but with Kawashima there are several large objects. Depending on how the maths goes, you could be dealing with several decimating explosions or a few little bangs. The Arcade Bunny is an assist trophy that can easily lead to an instant KO if it catches you, or you can mash for your life, but at higher percentages your efforts are futile. It's a shame he disappears after taking one stock though, not getting his money's worth. Claptrap is a threat that makes its presence known. Staying away from it can be difficult because of its lunge, and if it clamps down on you, there's not much you can do besides take around 30% or possibly die as well. Sayblade Prince doesn't feel as threatening as Claptrap, but he's a little bit better because he traps opponents for longer, allowing the user to easily mosey on over and deliver the killing blow. Grey Fox feels like a much better version of Takumaru. Better at chasing, opponents are much less likely to fall out of his attacks, and he can reflect projectiles with his sword, so it's much harder to keep him at bay with projectiles. Sukapon's greatest strength is its great strength. You really feel a hard hitting blow from Sukapon. Each individual attack can deal around 10 to 20%, and he dishes them out fairly frequently, and due to his strange animations it can be difficult to tell when he's actually attacking. Like any good assist trophy, he doesn't struggle with taking stocks under 100%. I like the Devil assist trophy because temporarily moving the blast zone can shift the flow of a match in a fun way, but sometimes Devil doesn't have enough of an impact. The Squid Sisters definitely do, giving players a quick opportunity to get some cheap kills at low percents, which I find to be pretty funny. Speaking of cheap kills, you've got to love an assist trophy that can take opponents down at 0%. That's Isaac. Though he can use his Synergy to deal damage, his best attack is the Giant Hand that deals no damage at all but simply pushes opponents straight off the side of the stage. Love it. Although the range isn't infinite, so he does have to be somewhat close to his opponents to push them the whole way. You can never be disappointed when plucking Wily Capsule from an assist trophy. His orb attacks show up everywhere and can do good damage and are a pain to deal with. Then there's his Spinning Ram attack, which can kill around 65% or sooner. Plus he sticks around for a long time too. The most famous, or perhaps infamous assist trophy of all time, Waluigi. Waluigi's stomp attack is laughably strong. It buries opponents and can deal upwards of 40% if they don't escape, as well as being able to spike opponents at the ledge. After dealing all of this damage, he finishes off his cameo appearance with a powerful launch attack from his tennis racket. If you pull Knuckles from an assist trophy, you're in for a good time. He's an aggressive assist trophy with a ton of incredibly strong attacks, including a homing attack, and he can even sneak underneath opponents with a ground attack, sending them flying before they even know what hit them. I think Sakurai was playing favourites when he introduced Knuckle Joe in Smash Bros. Brawl, as he was without a doubt one of the strongest assist trophies in the Smash game that introduced them. Getting caught in his Vulcan jab will likely mean death, even at 0%, because the finishing blow has insane knockback. He was nerfed considerably in Smash 4 and Ultimate, but he only went from ridiculously strong to very, very strong. Most of the assist trophies this high simply have insane strength, like Zero. All of his attacks all deal crazy damage and knockback for no good reason. His deadliest attack is his ranged Genmu Zero attack that can kill opponents from across the screen pretty early. Before Min Min represented the ARMS franchise, we had the Springman assist trophy. His normal attacks are fairly slow and don't deal much damage compared to other assist trophies this high. But before he goes, he essentially lets off a final smash that if you get caught in it, it's almost always an instant KO. Black Knight is kind of like a mobile Guile or a slower but more powerful Magnus. When Black Knight is on screen, his presence has to be respected as his personal space is very much off limits. Get too close to him and you're getting hit with an attack that can kill at around 40%? That's nuts. Vince from Art Academy really has no right being as powerful as he is. For just summoning him, opponents are automatically dealt a fair amount of damage over time. But on top of that, a painted over fighter will take 3 times as much damage. As you'd imagine, with Vince out, it's very easy to gain the advantage over opponents and finish a game quickly. Kappin is definitely this high for fun factor alone. I was never that fond of instant kill items like the Beetle and Boss Gallagher, but there's something different about Kappin that I can get behind. And it's just hilarious seeing the distress on players and characters' faces when they're being kidnapped by a rogue Kappa. I mentioned earlier how much fun slow motion is in Smash, and that's exactly what Shadow creates with his Chaos Control, giving the user a short duration to pull off some sick combos. In Ultimate, opponents are also froze for a few seconds at the end, allowing for one final strong attack to take them out while they are completely helpless. When Andross is out, your time will be spent trying to dance around the panels flying in from the Z-axis. Again, this is another one that makes it really scary to be off stage, as it can gimp you or straight up knock you off screen at any percent. Moving into the top 10, it's a mix of incredibly strong and incredibly fun assist trophies. Rodan is the former. What if we took the threateningly large smash attacks of Bayonetta and gave them to an assist trophy, but also powered them up a bit? That's what we get with Rodan. On top of that, his afterburner kick is good at poking opponents off the side of the stage, and he can even lend a random item to the summoner. How nice. Unlike most assist trophies, Sheriff doesn't need to get close to take you out. His shots travel fast, hit hard, and if you're around 100%, it doesn't matter where you are on stage, you're getting sent off it. Starman is essentially a better version of Sheriff. What makes Starman the superior of the two is simply the fact that his PK beams are stronger, kill earlier, and are more accurate, making him a better get overall. Although he can flinch, unlike Sheriff, so exploit that if he's giving you trouble. Here is one of the fun ones. I love me some Bomberman, and as a result, I love Bomberman. His bombs act exactly like they do in his home game, and can be avoided by standing in their diagonals. But they can be punched and kicked around, so it does just turn the match into a round of Bomberman, and that's all good by me. Who knew that this seemingly innocent host of Swapnote could be such an opposing force? I'm a big fan of the PictoChat stage for casual matches, and Nikki turns every stage into PictoChat with her drawings, many of which can be deadly, and sometimes she'll even hand out a free final smash. Nintendo's totally original game Color TV Game 15 got its own assist trophy in Super Smash Bros, and it virtually turns the stage into a game of Color TV Game 15. If you want pure madness, this is the assist trophy for you, as trying to actually predict where the ball will end up to avoid is nigh on impossible. The ball can even be powered up if it's reflected for some really early kills, and the paddles also reflect projectiles. Like I said, madness. Lyn kills. That's what she does. If you're sitting around 50% or even less in Brawl, you're going to be sweating when she gets summoned. It's just a matter of time before she strikes. For free-for-alls, it's a guessing game as to who she's going to go for. As soon as she's summoned, she commands fear from the players. Someone is likely going to die. Maybe more than one person if they're in a group. Fun assist trophy. The famous Pac-Man ghosts may not seem like an obvious contender for top 3, but here's why they are. Not only do they move sporadically and dish out lots of damage while they're around, but they can also take stocks in what are simultaneously the saddest and funniest ways, gimping recoveries and dragging foes to their deaths. They can also set up for some stylish kills by the player. At number 2 we have the flying wyvern itself, Rathalos, the only Smash Bros boss to also earn a role as an assist trophy. And being a boss, Rathalos has plenty of attacks up his sleeve, all of which do a lot of damage. Attacks like a charge, a roar that stuns, poisonous claw attacks, fireballs. On top of all this, he's just massive, so he is going to hit you. That's just going to happen. The only disappointing thing about Rathalos is that most of his attacks don't have a lot of knockback. It's not hard to survive to 150 or higher. There is one last assist trophy that is quite a bit stronger. That would be Tiki. Tiki doesn't seem that menacing when she enters the battlefield, but then you witness her turn into a dragon and oh boy, she is indeed one powerful dragon. She flies around the stage breathing enormous blazes of fire that take up so much of the screen. It can't really be ignored. It's definitely one of the largest attacks of any assist trophy. On top of that, it deals close to 30% with each hit and can kill as low as 70% or so if you're standing on a raised platform. If you pick up an assist trophy and Tiki appears, consider yourself one lucky individual. So tell me in the comments which assist trophy is your favourite to get. I'll be doing a similar video to this for all of the Pokeball Pokemon from Smash Bros, so consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to catch that. And as always, have fun playing video games.